Hi, this is Whitney from Start Your Better Life, and today I just wanted to talk about what life prioritized while we were becoming. What if, when we look back at our childhood, every time we, our little lower lip stuck out and started trembling, some adult turned to us and said, "Goodness, it looks like you're overwhelmed." I know I'm grown up and I've had some experiences, and I'm looking at you and it seems like, you know what, your system, your emotions, your mind is overwhelmed with something, and that's why you're feeling like that, and it's totally okay to feel that way, and let's look at it together. What if you went to college and, there was every semester, every year, or even just one time, there was 12 weeks where somebody walked you through getting in touch with all the pressure, all the little things that build up to overwhelm, all the traumatic things that by that point a person has navigated, making friendships, becoming. It's a lot to become in a world where we're all socially connected and we're being bombarded with, media pressures, advertising pressures, all of this stimulation that isn't necessarily the real world. And when I say that, I'm talking about like magazines and, airbrushed, perfected environments, people who've literally been augmented to not have real proportions or, what it looks like to be real. And anytime you ever really want a reality check, go turn on a TV show from the early 70s, or go get some magazines from the early 70s. Even then, those are the great looking people, real hair, real teeth, real, that have been, taken care of and groomed to be in perfection, but they're still real people. Now we're just in this day and age where we have so many resources to make perfect, more perfect, and that pressure is put on everyone consuming that media, and it's really difficult to avoid that media. It's in your face at the grocery store, it's in your face at libraries and bookshops, it's in your face in airports, and pretty much anywhere you go there is something shiny and perfect putting some kind of pressure on you. Sports performance has skyrocketed, because we've come so far with technology, and I'm not saying it's all bad. However, let's say, you're in that first year of college and all of this pressure, plus all the pressure of becoming, navigating friendships, disappointing friendships. By that point, most of us have experienced some form of betrayal or loss or deep disappointment. All of this is in your system, but nobody ever says, hey, you know what, to become your best self, whether it's to be a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher, a clerk, a scientist, whatever your dreams are in your life, no one's telling you that the best way to show up there as these amazing things, and as a husband or wife, as a daughter or son, and even more importantly, as a parent, to go and take care of the internal parts of you and to learn skills that equip you with not just coping, but a release and a flow where you can actually make the best decisions for you, for your life, your becoming, your dreams, because the cortisol and the biology of overwhelm isn't hijacking you from your prefrontal cortex, from the place of reason, logic, planning, that stuff, any stress, any overwhelm, any hijacking of feelings. I mean, today, so many people report social anxiety, general anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder. So many of you and everyone around you is carrying this, and all of that steals the ability to make the best decision. And sometimes the best decision is like, you don't need to be filled with anxiety, but you can't get there if you're always being flooded by the overwhelm and stress and pressures and things that we all carry with us from learning and from our own personal experiences. So one of my biggest missions in life is to help give as many people as possible a 12-week immersion in learning why you're even overwhelmed. Most of us think we know, but we don't even know. And even if we know, because it's hijacked us, we can't, complete the circle to then take care of it. So we're always kind of juggling this and navigating around it. So I'm offering 12 weeks, an intensive once a week live with me process where we're going to go through the whole circle of emotions and how they interact with overwhelm that keep you stuck, keep you constantly regurgitating the same issue that you think you've mastered, but it still comes up and sabotages you, steals your joy, stresses you out, makes you exhausted, is a reason you can't show up and go do the things that you want to do. And sometimes, you're doing all the things. You've got the great job, you've got the great house, you've got the great kids, you've got the great friends, but you still just don't feel satisfied or filled with joy or peaceful enough to actually appreciate all that you have. Because sometimes even with all of that, it's still not enough, or there's something not right. So I'm inviting you to join me in a 12-week intensive protocol where we're going to use some tools. We're going to do a major dump. We're going to look directly at overwhelm. We're going to do it together, but it's so private. You don't have to share anything at all. That's what's the most amazing about this. Some of my clients who have been 25 years in therapy, trying to get rid of that nagging feeling of not good enough. Some of them were dealing with, some major parental issues and self-worth issues. After 12 weeks, they said they got more relief than all of those years. Not that those years weren't necessary and also a part of their journey, but they, after those 12 weeks, got more relief, more insight than they did in the 25 years, kind of spinning around the same feelings and thoughts and concerns. So this is kind of, think about like a college class. It's an investment for right now and for the rest of your life. These holdings, these shifts have proven to be permanent over time. And not only that, they grow because when that anxiety and overwhelm and stress is gone, your life takes a trajectory that it would never have taken before. And what does that cost you? Well, it costs a lot. In some people's case, they said it saved their marriage. It's helped them navigate really challenging things with their children that they wouldn't have been able to be calm and have the insight and connect with them in these challenging topics. One of my clients just recently said that she's been waiting her whole life to do her dream for all this other stuff to take care of itself, and she realized all this other stuff was never going to take care of itself. But that hijacking thing kept her in this cycle. And now she's moving forward in a way that she's never been able to in 50 years of living. And she'll never go back to that, because this is the new status quo. This is the new baseline. So I'm really excited, and I've been working on this for a year and a half to bring my private practice in a way that is super specific to you, personal, private, unless of course you want to share, because sharing sometimes is one of the greatest moments of like, wow, I cannot believe this amazing thing has happened and I need to share. So that's welcome as well. And many people feel that way. Many people feel like, you know, they love the privacy and the fact that they can work through these big giant things and not have to air their internal workings in the small group or anywhere, or even to me. So I'm inviting you. I'm super excited to sign up. It's 12 weeks. We're going to run through the overwhelm and then the overwhelm of every emotion. And it's powerful, it's proven, and will set you up to have the absolute best life you possibly can. And I can keep talking about it, and I'm super excited about it. But the only way to give yourself this gift is to join us. And I know that it's that leap to take an action, to spend your resources, your time, you know, your discontent, your hurt, your pain, even with yourself, and your money to come join this program. But trust me, whatever time, money, all the resources that you have to juggle to show up for a few hours every week to do this for yourself will change your life. Kind of like, you know, getting a certificate, earning a degree. Like, it will transform you to put you in a place where you're just going to operate better than you ever have. Problems will be more manageable. Emotions will make sense. It's a fascinating, amazing journey. It's always a miracle to lead and guide people through this. It just is so transformative, and I'm always honored to be on this journey with whoever decides to finally take that leap. And I know it's hard. Way back when I had a lot of anxiety, diagnosed with panic disorder, and had major panic attacks, sometimes every 7 minutes, was suffering some intense grief, and with the loss of my parents earlier than normal, I also realized that I didn't have the family that I thought I did, and had abandonment. You know, the short story is I was a hot mess, and I had to take that leap. You don't have to be in that chronic, insane, sort of hijacked in every cell like I was to do this program. But I'm so forever grateful that I kept believing in myself. I kept believing in the light at the end of the tunnel, and my life is fantastic. I'm married to my soulmate. I have the greatest little kid. I have the house that's actually beyond my dreams. I have incredible friends and connections, and I cannot remember the last time I had a major panic attack or felt like I was so out of control that there wasn't something I could do about it. And I have all these tools, and what's even better, after the 12 weeks of being immersed in all of this, if anything new comes up, by that point, you're going to be an expert in using all of these modalities to transform your life at any point. And what else? Your children and your loved ones. You'll be able to offer these tools and these concepts to powerfully change somebody in a very short amount of time. Just 3 days ago, this really happened. 3 days ago, my kid came home with just like crying in the car, his emotions. We kind of worked through the emotions of what was going on. He was kind of teased and put in this very vulnerable state by some other kids who were just being kids, but it really struck him and bothered him, and my kid never cries. But he said he felt vulnerable, he felt insecure, he felt basically powerless to stop them hitting him in this ultra vulnerable spot. And he was inconsolable. And we used some of these tools and techniques, and I walked him through it, and within about 20 minutes, he took a deep breath and he was like, "Mom, I feel better, I feel a lot better." And then we talked about it again at bedtime, and he was able to stay not hijacked and make a plan. And he went from being so upset that he was inconsolable, sobbing, tears of just, all that bad feeling, to laughing about it several hours later. And then the next day, he went back to school and he had strategies, and it was fine, and it was no big deal. And now, instead of having this lodged in his little tiny nervous system for the rest of his life, it's now this place where he was like, "You know what? I transformed," and he can feel proud of himself and feel capable. Like, he's now not navigating around this precious wound that he will do anything in the world to protect from happening again. And these are the things that I am inviting you to take a leap. Come join me. It's 12 weeks, just 12 little weeks of your giant, amazing life that we get to spend together. You're going to learn some great tools, and you will be a brand new best version of yourself that will feel so fantastic. You have to do it to really understand. I look forward to all of you guys who are ready to come take that leap and join me. And for everyone else, hopefully I'll circle back around and offer this again when you're ready. Imagine your best life, because you wouldn't want it if it wasn't possible. I'm going to say that again. Imagine your best life and all that stuff that kind of gets in the way, wherever you are in life, at the apex of all the things you ever wanted, or just at the beginning, trying to gain all the things: the job, the career, the husband or wife, the children, the dog, the picket fence, whatever it is, the small house, whatever it is, the giant mansion, wherever you are. Imagine the best life, and then imagine feeling really good about all of that and all the other stuff that makes sense why it's there. By the way, it makes so much sense why it's there, but getting past making sense to resolving it and feeling lighter, freer, connecting the dots, creating a powerful transition to be your best self. You wouldn't feel dissatisfied. You wouldn't feel all of that if you weren't capable of having it. So go ahead, send me a note, reply, let me know what your thoughts and feelings are. Even if you don't sign up, I read them all. I love to hear feedback. And I look forward to seeing all of you who are taking the leap and joining me on this 12-week adventure. Bye.